Hello, my name is Acam and I am live with commentary for the first time. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm terrified. I don't speak very much, by myself. So this is probably gonna be a terrible commentary. I'm just gonna let you know right out the bat because that'll explain why it's bad. You know now. I also have music going on in the background. I don't know if that's too loud or not. I only have the levels on OBS to go by, and the music looks pretty damn quiet. But I might as well play the clip I'm gonna be animating. It's just this little part. It's only a few hundred frames, so it shouldn't take too long. I say that, but it's got a lot of assets to it. It's another normal Macdonald animation. And I'm sorry if I'm mumbling. Again, I'm very nervous. But this is it.
Gosh, I went over to the Sea World there. You know how they have the Sea World? You know, with the different fish.
And that's it. But during that time, he kind of needs to walk into the scene. I have a background I need to, import. I do have chat open on my phone. So I can see what people are saying. But the first thing I need to do is basically import this background real quick. I think this is a good clip to stream for the first time, just because with commentary, I mean, because it kind of shows like all of what I have to do in my animations, pretty much, other than like the designing of the characters. Like you have to make a walk cycle for Norm. I have to do some mouth rigging. Thanks, Prescient Murphy. That means a lot. It's cool to see that people are watching. And you can hear me okay and everything. But now I have this, I'll close all these folders. Now I have this background imported, I can put it in to the layer where I have all my background stuff going on. And it pretty much needs to be all the way over here, this background. It's in another scene it's gonna pan across and you're gonna see sort of walk, sorry, you're gonna see Norm walk across. Just move his legs. But for now he's just sort of like walking into the scene. So it's pretty basic. The character's just gonna move from out of frame over here to in frame. And this background I don't think is quite finished. The windows look a bit terrible, and I don't know, I might add some more detail, but I can do that in Photoshop and then import it into Flash again. And if I convert this to a symbol called, I don't know, background SeaWorld. Then when I can sort of like replace the symbol, so it'll like act in the same way as it does. So if I move it around, I'll just like replace it. So that won't be a problem to change later. What I think I need to do first is just get all like the basic movements done. She listens to the audio. It's basically Norm. He sat talking to Conan. He introduces this sort of scenario where he's at SeaWorld.
And gosh, I went over to the SeaWorld there. You know how they have the SeaWorld? You know, with the...
And then when he says, like, here, you know, with all the different fish, I was thinking about making sort of it turn from, like, the narration to the character on screen. He sort of, like, looks maybe at the screen and says, like,
have the SeaWorld?
You know,
with the different fish.
So I was thinking that would be sort of like maybe a good sort of like transition and start doing like the mouth ringing a little bit. But this is sort of all the layers of Norm I have. So you have this head. Move his head, you can move all the layers around. His arms are a bunch of different layers. So I basically just like rig him like a puppet. And there's some sort of good bit. Yeah. I think all my favorite Norm jokes are all his like simpler ones maybe. I don't know, because I like his like 12-minute joke he did where he's talking about how he would go about like burying someone in a very deep grave, you know. But all of his clips on Conan are pretty much like gold. Like really funny whether they're like edgy or not, you know?
And gosh, I went over to the SeaWorld there. You know how they have the SeaWorld? SeaWorld.
So I think about here, I'm gonna have him stop talking. Where it's like SeaWorld, and he can have him be like looking around in amazement. He's in SeaWorld, you know? So first off, what I'm going to do... Actually, what I'm first going to do is do the walk cycle. I can see I have this other file open, where I was just going to sort of show... Like, I did a walk cycle for Andy here, and you can't see it because it's off screen, but I did, like, the whole legs. And you can see how he sort of, like, moves up here. And there's 8 pictures, pretty much. I just need to draw. They're pretty quick and easy to do. But I can just delete these because they're not part of the scene. And what I'll pretty much do is trace over his legs here. Just really roughly. Yeah, I need to close this off. It's just gonna lay behind his body. But then what I'm pretty much going to do is this simple walk cycle I always do, where you have this leg going forwards, this leg going backwards. And the next picture is this leg down, this leg coming up. And then the next one, if I remember correctly, is this leg going forwards, this leg going backwards. And then it's this front leg going forwards whilst this one's on the floor. So you have this crossover. Is that his right leg? It's his right leg, it's our left leg. Conan banter is excellent, I agree. Conan's really good at sort of like going along with Norm's jokes. He always calls him out on stuff and it always makes it funnier. If you watch him on the other interviews, it's sort of, you know, I always find like good hosts with comedians at least are like, I don't know, like Conan was good, Rest in peace, Conan. And another one I like is Craig Ferguson. Craig Ferguson's really funny as well, and he was able. If you watch like Norm's interview on Craig Ferguson, and that's pretty funny too. Like the host adds to it. Other two hosts I think add like more than other hosts at least. This is the crossover. This is his right leg. This is a crossover. And this is left leg. One of my favorite interviews of all time is probably Robin Williams on Craig Ferguson. It was on there like someone stitched together like all of. It was only on there a few times, and someone stitched it together, and I think it's like the view appearances were good as well. Yeah, they were good. Yeah, they proved that Norm can do it by himself. Those are so funny because they keep trying to like move the conversation along, but they're like the women, but they're always trying to get him to move on, and Norm just keeps keeps saying the president's a murderer. The apology one's a bit weird, where it's like it's having to apologize for them saying something about Down syndrome or something on Howard Stern. I know, because he's eating like candy and stuff, and I don't know if it's like serious or not. So what he's saying, it sounds pretty serious. But the view on where the producer or something tells him to take on a phone, and he just doesn't work. Now what I'm gonna do is make like 4 different blank keyframes here. That's 5. And then basically sort of model it on this. So I need this leg going forwards first. And I might just actually blank keyframe that. So then you have this leg sort of going forwards. And these like go by like pretty quick. So they don't have to be like 100% accurate or anything. But obviously it makes it better if they are. And I think I'm just gonna like pretty much copy this shoe identically. And then Control C. And I can just move it around. And then this foot's sort of back, and they're both on the ground, I'm pretty, yeah. So like this. Then the next frame. I might actually just get rid of this because it's not very helpful. Then we have this leg straight down. So we can pretty much trace over this leg goes straight down. Obviously at the bottom, he's walking forward, so I kind of need the shoe forward and need it to be sort of on the level as and then this foot sort of needs to be behind this almost, just kind of like coming forwards. What I'm basically trying to do is just keep the shape of the legs like consistent. And the next one is another crossover, the legs are both apart. So what I could do is just sort of do this. Move it a bit this way. Base the foot. Find this to be a bit more this way. And this thing also needs to be forward. One, two, three. And then the last one, the final crossover one. You have this leg backwards and this leg going forwards. Maybe not that high with the knee. But you basically want this foot to be between this one and this one, right? So like that. Maybe a bit less. And this foot pretty much down like it is here, but be a bit further back. And I can just put it on loop and see how it looks. It's probably pretty quick. It's 24 frames a second and there's only 4 frames. What bit am I fan-imating? I don't really want to spoil it. If you want to watch it though, it is I can't remember what it's called. It's the SeaWorld, where he goes to SeaWorld and I don't want to spoil the punchline, but that's like the only way. It's Jacques de Gautier. And he was our hope. He was our hope, I guess. and they saw him feeding dolphins at SeaWorld, and should I spoil the joke? It's not really the punchline of the jokes that you watched Norm for. But Jack DeGuccier is like, oh, you are Hope, Jack DeGuccier. What are you doing working at SeaWorld? And Jack DeGuccier says, well, I believe I'm serving a youthful purpose. As in, like, youthful purpose is the joke, but... You can tell by my terrible delivery of that joke that it's all about the way he presents it. So now I'm going to just do like in-betweens of this. You can work with just 4 pictures and have it going. Actually, did I...
And gosh, I went...
Need to mute the audio. So that's basically their walk cycle. But I'm going to be doing some in-betweens to make it a bit smoother. So basically what I'm doing now is just sort of trying to find the lines that are like in-betweens. That are this one and this one. This one and this one. These ones. I am not talking very much. I'm kind of just focusing on the drawing. And then I also need to do one that connects this frame to this one. It's the wrong leg. That was the right leg. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Replay them. It kind of sucks having to do all that because, like, a majority of it's not even on screen. But I do like doing it all in a way. I don't know why. I could just not. Maybe it's because it's not that much effort. And if I ever like want to like use the walk cycle as like reference for another animation, I can just like, it's not like it's cut off and the other thing about this version of Flash as well is the line depends on how zoomed you are in. So to keep all the line work consistent, I have to be constantly working at while you pick but I do like 150%. There's also line thickness here as well, which you have to keep in mind. I know that's not the case in like the most recent version, Adobe Animate. And for good reason. It's a really bad, annoying thing. What I'm gonna do is turn on Norm's body. After this walk cycle, there really isn't much else to do, other than, you know, you have him walk in, have him stood still for a little bit, and then I'll do some mouth rigging. I want to keep it sort of short because I'm not very good at talking by myself. I think some of the streams I've done before have gone on for like hours. I don't know how long we're into this one. But I don't know if I could talk for for an hour. Keeps not responding. I think that's just because it's an old program. And I think when it does that, it does save it. Just if you're wondering what was happening there. It's not about to crash, it does that all the time. I don't know if anyone watching has any recommendations of other clips to do for animations. I'd be open to suggestions. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing after this one. I was thinking maybe I could do another gnome, but I was thinking maybe trying to do something else. Obviously, I don't know what yet. And gnome's pretty easy to fall back on because there's loads and loads of anecdotes, you know. Kitchener Leslie and the moth one. The light was on. But I don't really want to do too many gnome ones. I was watching some Kevin Nealon interviews recently. Because he was recommended. And he's always funny on Conan especially as well. I don't really know about animating any of his stuff though. Because it's not really, I'm not sure if it's anecdotes, it's more just... He's more just funny in conversation. I feel that'd be quite hard to animate. Nom's the same, but I think what I'm doing animating it is like this, the anecdote. Otherwise it'd just be like an animation of two people talking. That's the one. I think these like sort of like tedious parts of the animation. A lot of people look at it and are like, that's the part I can't be bothered with. But they can be some of the best parts if you put on like a good podcast or something. Some sort of like long form content. You get to sort of like be entertained and sort of animate at the same time. Obviously with the mouth rigging, one of the other sort of tedious parts. That's a bit harder because you can't really listen to stuff and mouth rig at the same time. You need to be listening to the sounds people are making. And that frame is the same as that one, because it loops back, so I don't need to do that one again. But now I can basically color in. Norme. Hockey, Norme. That sounds pretty random if you're not reading the chat. Someone just commented. Hashimoto just commented, Norme. That wasn't me just having a breakdown. And that's it. now I have this 8-frame walk cycle and walk through. When are you gonna make Fat Norm? Maybe my next one, because I mean, it's getting heftier. My first one I did, it was young, skinny, old interview. Young Norm. This one is sort of it's not too bad. I was thinking about steering away from the Conan interviews. Maybe if I do another one. I think I'd like to do 3. At least. Like a trilogy. I like the idea of trilogies. But, maybe doing like a clip from the actual Norm Macdonald Has a Show podcast. But I'm not sure if I'll have to watch all the episodes again because I don't remember much about it. Anyway, I'm just gonna call this sort of walk 1. Walk 2. And so on. What animating suite am I using? I'm using an old version of Adobe Animate, an outdated version called Adobe Flash CS6. It's pretty outdated, and Adobe Animate is probably like the better option. I don't know why I'm using this. I'm used to it, maybe. I know like there's an automatic mouth rigging in Adobe Animate. I don't know. That'd save so much time. I might have to look into buying it. I think the reason is money. If I'm honest. Adobe is very expensive. But Adobe Animate is like, it's the software I see in my wet dreams. If that's not too much information. Don't feel bad, I still use Flash 8 when Macromania still owned it. Well, yeah. I mean, they're pretty good softwares if you... I like to think I get the most out of it. Certain features I don't use, but... I don't know, the only real issue I have with it is you can tell that it's made using Flash. Like this paintbrush tool is, you see it on YouTube, like indie animators using it, and you can just instantly tell what software they used. And I always like sort of when I watch an animation and it's like I have no idea how they did that, as in I have no idea what they used. Toon Bloom's a little bit like that. I don't know if it's because I've like never used it, but I feel like you can make like any style of animation using it, you know. I know Archer, the animated program, is made using Adobe Animate. And I sort of had, and I think BoJack also kind of looks like it uses something similar, but I'm not sure about that. Automatic mouth rig is great with robot voices and text-to-speech, but you gotta speak really clear for it to register you good. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because I'm pretty... Like, if you look at my mouth rigs, they're pretty... I've dumbed it down a lot. See if we can find one. I dumbed it down to TH and L, That's a big one that I use often. S, C, Z, O, U, F, V, and E. And that seems to make like a decent, I think for my FMP animation, I actually load it up. For my FMP I did it, I think I added a few different extras, mouths. But I'm quite specific, like when I hear like a TH and an L, I use the THL thing, and it's like, would an automatic thing be able to do that? For this animation I did. Marvin don't have a mouse cycle, Arthur does. Yeah, here I have a lot more. I have a TH, that one's still quite a long one, just the teeth. I have an R, an OU, an O, different, pretty much the same, but for different sounds. Just makes it look realer the more you have, I think. MB, like L, different one for L than I have TH this time. It's pretty much the same. Other ones are sort of similar, I dumbed down from more recent animations I did. I wanted my FMP to look good, so I had like more mouth things, but a lot of them look similar, and you can use them for each one. The FV one's like a unique one, you know. Certain ones are just unique, and you have to have them. E, just a mouth open. Like, again, just a mouth open, just a bit bigger, no teeth. I don't know if there's any like Arthur speaking here. Yeah,
He's always like this.
it's a bit slow because my software, it looks less choppy when it's rendered. He's always like, it's very specific, and it, yeah, imagine if more robotic voices, it'd work a lot better. Anyway, is that all these turned into symbols now? So now I can delete all these. Just delete that.
And actually, a SeaWorld. They're gonna have sales.
Delete the guide. Great, classic keyframe. Canadian Prince of Darkness. Jacques de Gautier.
And gosh, I went over to the SeaWorld there. You know how they have the...
It's walking pretty slow there. My walk cycle looks pretty fast. So what I might do is use, for every 2 frames, just have one walk cycle symbol. But basically what I'm going to do is just convert all these to keyframes. Remove the tween. First one's fine. Actually, might as well just start. Actually, I'll start on the second one. It didn't really matter too much about this like difference in the level of feet 'cause they're off screen. Or maybe if they were on screen, I might fix that up a little bit. But I guess what I'm really looking for is this like crotch line to match up. That matched it up fine. Clear keyframe. Insert keyframe and just move it a little bit this way. So it's like 2 frames, 1 image. I think that'll slow it down a little. But then once I've gone through all the symbols, I can just copy and paste it and move it. I have that one for 2, that one for 2. Probably better actually if I just drop it on top of this to match them up, and delete the one underneath. I'll delete it again. And last one. And if I just clear this, so I know where I'm at. There should be 16 here because there's 8 things and 2 in each frame. 2 frames on each image. Yeah, 16. Not counting this one. I just deleted them all. Copy them. Not counting that one. Get rid of all these. And I'm basically going to paste until I get to the end. And they're not lining up, but I'll line them up individually, which might take a while. Again, I'm pretty sure there's like new features on like new animation softwares that sort of... I think the closest thing on this software is this like bone tool, where you like rig a character, which I never really liked because it kind of limits you more than it helps you out. Could just keep like your layers organized on top of each other. That'd work just as fine, and you'd be freer. Also depends on what style of animation it is. I mean, I think like the most mainstream program that's a similar style to what I'm doing is BoJack. Like it's really obvious that they're like using layers like I am. Or Archer. But both of those have like a lot more like layers and details, you can tell, than what I'm doing. Like this whole body is just like a few layers. I'm basically just gonna drag and drop these to match up. I don't know if anyone watching has seen Joel Hafer. But he has like a really unique art style. I could watch a whole like series. I hope he gets like... I like his videos as they are, but I really hope he like... it's a series or something in that style. It's really cool looking. It probably won't be him. Probably someone will just like rip it off and do a style like that. It's that stylized though that it's kind of hard to imagine other people doing it. I have, yeah. Joel Haver's sick, man. Like you've seen like other videos in like the same sort of style, and they all sort of work pretty well. Joel Haver's also like a really funny guy, so. But I think there was like a TV program in like the same style as Archer. It was like an Australian thing, and it was really weird because it looked just like Archer, only it was a completely different program by completely different people. He uses a Obsynth. Yeah, I watched that video where he made a video how he makes it. Where he traces over like real footage and the program sort of fills in frames. And I think the more you move, the more sort of frames you have to hand draw. That's really cool. It's really weird to see sort of like such like cartoony characters moving in such a realistic way. Yeah, live action footage but re-rendered. I think you can make like really simple animations doing that, like pretty quick. But you can tell he puts like so much time into them. Like I've seen other channels that have done that, and they always look good when... I guess it's the same with any type of animation. The more time you put into it, the better it looks. I'm not a big anime guy, but I watch like clips just for the animation. Hit save, oh good point. I watch clips of anime just for the animation. It's fucking mind-boggling. I don't know how. It's simply if you don't move much in the background something, yeah. Yeah, the less you have to trace over. But if you have like... I think I watched one where... character did like a full 360. And it's like, you probably have to do that frame by frame. If not, very close. You know what I sometimes think is, Walt Disney was always like a frame by frame guy. You know, he had like offices of people drawing frames. And I sometimes wonder what he'd make of his company owning the Simpsons. If you had to go back and show him like Simpsons. I wonder if he'd be happy, because Simpsons look good. He'd probably be happy. Just want to say I love your Norm Macdonald Turtle Story video. Thank you. Nick Singer, thank you. That one took quite a while. It took like a month, because I was kind of on off doing it. I say that, but this one's taking close. This one might not be far off a month as well. Has it been a month? How long ago did I upload that? Like 4 weeks? Yeah, that video got a lot of views. I wasn't really doing it for the views, I was doing it because I like Norm Macdonald. But it kind of fucking took off. It's kind of scary. I like talking to other people in the comments though, because a lot of them are like pretty hardcore Norm fans, you know. So it's like quotes of Norm in there. Almost done. Yeah, I love Norm. Yeah, I don't know if I understand people that don't love Norm. He's just like the epitome of funny. Definitely one of my I'd probably say top 5 comedians. 'Cause I'm not really too big on stand-up. And Norm's a stand-up comedian. So I guess it takes a lot of stand-up for me to like it, you know. But I guess I like Norm's stand-up, but I definitely laugh more at, like, the interviews and I guess it's like the back and forth he has with the interviewers sometimes. And he's a really good talk show guest. So some comedians are just like really good at being talk show guests. At first I didn't get him, but once you realize, yeah, you appreciate him. He's a comedian's comedian. It's funny on the his podcast he had when he had like other comedians on, and it was getting them to like the moth joke, yeah. He's getting to read like just jokes that he'd written. Comedian's comedian, yeah. Yeah, a lot of comedians have like a lot of respect for him. I don't know if Larry King does a bit of comedy, but he's not really a comedian, but Larry King likes Norm, Dave Letterman. Seems to really like him. The moth jokes are really good. That's sort of similar to the turtle one I did. No, it's like it's not edgy or it's really simple, but it's like I think for me to be funny, like when I'm talking with friends, I have to be like pretty edgy and sweary, you know. But you can tell like a good comedian when they can do what Norm does, I guess. He has me in stitches, and it's like he's just saying like the stupidest stuff. Everyone worships him. Even the guys he fucks off like Rogan. Alright, I got no one walking in.
And gosh, I went over to the Sea World there. You know how they have the Sea World? Gosh, I went over to the Sea World there. You know how they have the Sea World there. You know how they have the Sea World? You know. Sea World there.
And I might have his like head tilt up and him look around a little.
Gosh, I went over to the
And also his arms should be moving a little. A lot of people talk about the roast he did. I can't remember whose roast it was. Well, he said... I can't remember what he said. I need to rewatch it. But he does like, sort of like simple, sort of like riffs on a guy. And everyone else is trying to be like as edgy as possible because it's a roast, trying to really it'd be funny, but kind of dig into the guy getting roasted. But Nom just comes out and it does all this like Bob Saget, yeah. all these like all these stupid jokes on him. That joke's with a straight face. There's like a cauliflower. Who the hell tells someone they look like a cauliflower at a roast? And he says like someone says his set was like watching Jane Fonda pick blueberries. And he says, I don't know if there's a person out here that wouldn't want to watch Jane Fonda pick a blueberry. It's true.
And bye.
Larry King has a good has good judgment of comedians, I feel. Whenever Larry King was on like Conan or Craig Ferguson, it was always really funny. I don't have a Patreon. I don't really do this for a living. I'm just I'm back from uni for the summer and I'm going back to do my to do a master's next year. So I guess I'm just spending the summer doing animations. What is that show called? Format? Netflix series with The Rock and Pop Legends. I'm not sure. Did someone say it was like King of the Hill? Yes, I keep hearing that and I sort of agree. Like the how realistic I'm sort of trying to make the characters. Obviously not too really realistic, but they're very sort of like straight and deadpan, I guess. I love Mike Judge. I'll let you know if I set one up. It might help. I think if more of my animations sort of take off, my channel grows a bit more. Because I would like, I do have something to spend it on. I do have, you know, the new Adobe software, which would be better the more I'm using. I wouldn't feel right just setting up a Patreon just to get money so I can just keep doing what I'm doing. Because it isn't like I really need the money, but with what I currently have, but there are certain things that I could upgrade. I'd also I'd also have to try and figure out sort of what I could give Patreons that I don't give just people on YouTube, like behind the scenes stuff. I think here I need to do the arms. Every 16 frames. Dade. I don't know what that's in reference to. Unless you're just saying Dade. I just got monetized on YouTube, so I'm kind of waiting to see how that turns out. Bobby Hill calling Hank. Sorry I didn't get that reference. I haven't seen King of the Hill in years. What was the recent Mike Judge thing I watched? I think more recently I've been watching Tales from the Tour Bus, which is Mike Judge as well. I watched all the King of the Hills when I was like, I think I was like 10. How old are they? They're pre-Family Guy, right? They're like 1990s? They kind of look it. That's it. Tales from the Tour Bus. Oh, is that the program you were trying to think of? Yeah, that's definitely an inspiration art style-wise. I feel like, they look more traced almost, like they sort of started with like an image of someone like sat down talking or something, they traced over it and then with like different layers and then sort of added to it and animated it. But it looks really good. 1997. Yeah, is that King of the Hill? That's crazy. That's before I was born. Love my Judge stuff though. So because is sort of his legs sort of need to correspond with his arms and the way they move. So his legs forward, so his arm needs to be forward. And here, this should be his legs backwards. I don't really want to make him too expressive. But they also should be moving. Yeah, I was just watching... I was just talking about Joel Haver's animations with someone. In the chat. I was saying I really liked it. It's really cool. It's definitely sort of like an animation style I'd like to try out. It feels like his style though. Like if you watch because he's sort of done like a tutorial on how to do it and everything. And, you know, people are obviously inspired by him. you see a lot of other animations cropping up that are in like the same style. And you always see in the comments, you know, reminds me of Joel Haver. Oh, this is like, just like Joel Haver's. And kind of like, if a studio was to try and like, do like South Park style. I think that's, I think a lot of indie animators like have their own style and everything. Joel Haver's like really stands out as like his. But I think he does it like really well. He does it, I think, the best he can with the like the software you was using. Like you'd have to do a lot more than just copy him to copy him, you know. To copy him and be successful. Yeah, I watch Joel Haver every time he uploads. What was the most recent one he did? It was quite recent. I watched a video where he said he was gonna live in a van. And I was like, how is that even possible? How do you like animate in a van? It's like you need wires, bro. You need power, you need a computer. I don't think he cares about the style, it's just a way to portray ideas. Yeah. It's definitely consistent with the style of animations. But yeah, if you watch his like just his normal sketches, they're like just as funny. You know, it's not, the animation kind of is cool. Like it's a cool style. But like he's a really funny guy anyway. Like he's not offended if people copy it. Yeah, yeah. Ralph Bakshi did lots of rotoscoping. I don't know Ralph Bakshi, I'll have to look him up. Oh shit, an American director? I did Cool World. Oh man, that's deep. 1992, fuck. Brad Pitt. Cool World is so weird. This film is so much more realized and professional. I'm more concerned with this film. Yeah, I watched a movie he did because I really liked I just liked what he'd done. I've only seen like a few videos, and I watched the movie he did. It's not like a big budget thing. It's just like an indie movie made. Check out Wizards from Bakshi. I will do. I'll watch more of his videos. More of his movies, sorry. Switch backwards, right? I think these arm things are matching up with the forwards, that's forwards. It's forwards again. I've been considering learning how to draw. What do you think is the best way to learn to draw? To learn to draw, I mean, I'm not the best at just drawing, but I would imagine sketchbooks in practice, I guess.
Gosh, I went
I think I'm like one off with these things.
SeaWorld there.
Definitely to draw to my level, use sketchbooks. I don't want to give too much advice because I'm not the best at it. Follow my advice, you'll only end up as good as me. But I think practice makes perfect, usually. I'm hearing words, but Nom's mouth isn't moving. I haven't done the mouth rigging yet. It sort of cuts to this,
And gosh, I went over to the SeaWorld there. You know how they have the SeaWorld?
Here I think I'm gonna have him start talking. Because he's sort of like narrating it, but then this could be like him in the moment, be like...
SeaWorld there. You know how they have the SeaWorld?
You know, they have the SeaWorld. What am I trying to draw? Just non Macdonald animation. I'm trying to get his arms moving, right? I'm just gonna stick with this and see how it looks. I've been too slow. Oh, I was asking the guy who was learning to draw. East Films. Youthful Paupers for the win. What am I listening to right now is actually a song my friend made. I have a playlist of copyright-free music, and it's a bit repetitive. I need to add to it. And this is Atticus Blue, So Relaxed. And it's a song my friend made. He's a really talented guy. But I used to play like PlayStation with him. It's weird seeing someone you used to play PlayStation with be like so good at something, you know? He's like really good at music, man. Ah, I see. The female form. I'm gonna be honest, I don't have too much experience with the female form. Found me through the Norm subreddit, really? Thanks, man, that means a lot. Samuel Shoop. Thanks, Clemens. That means a lot. Yeah, I think Nick is a righteous dude. The song I'm listening to now is another one that a friend made. University of Science. Is that the that's the professor of logic joke? His neighbor that works at the University of Science there. Do I have a dog? I have 2 cats. I don't know what that tells you. Probably need to be some big shot professor of logic at University of Science or something to be able to tell me.
And gosh, I went over to the Sea World there. You know how they have.
I think here one of his like head moves as well. Should I start with his head facing the other way? So make it like he's looking around. He's looking a little still. Then to Fan-imate the moth joke. I'm not sure. It is a very good joke though. And this is one of those sort of like anecdote ones where you know, sometimes it's hard to think about what you can add with animation. But the anecdote's always the best, because then you can just sort of illustrate what they're talking about. I think I'm going to start with his head facing this way. Have I been to Kitchener? I probably want to stay away from there. Kitchener Leslie's a good joke. It's really long though. It's funny because they're not long jokes, but Norm makes them long. But I am not going to complain about that. Fun backgrounds for moth jokes. St. Petersburg architecture. And some silly moth people. Yeah, it would be a good one. It'd be a change of pace from all the people I've been drawing. Yeah, to draw moth people. Maybe just tilt head upwards and a simple flip to demonstrate looking around. Yeah. I think in... Well, this is sort of like where he enters the frame. So he's looking up. His head turns and maybe he's also looking up here. Maybe this should happen a bit later. Maybe more in the frame. May the Moth one like in 1960s Soviet Russia? Oh my god. Oh, that would be fun. It's really dark and dreary and depressing. Yeah, that moth is not happy. Could also be raining. Soulless modern architecture.
I went over to the Sea World there. You know Sea Sea World there. You know, gosh, I went over to the Sea World there. You know how they have the Sea World? Sea World there. You know how they have the world there. You know how they have the Sea World?
And then pretty much
You
after
know,
this, he
with the
starts
different
talking.
world there.
Should I make his head turn, or should I just make his eyes sort of look over this way?
World there. You know how they have the Sea World? There. You know how they have the world there. You know,
Try the eye thing first to see if it works. Snap flips of his head, maybe more like sporadic. Well, less tweened, you mean? Oh man, it looks really weird. I could quicken him up.
and gosh, I went over to the Sea I went over to the Sea World there. You know how they have the Sea World? You know, they have the Sea World. Sea World there. You know how there. You know how they have the Sea World? You know how they have the Sea World?
Okay, have a good time at work, Samuel. Thanks for watching. It's been cool talking to people live. I was really nervous before I started, but I'm pretty, all the comments and stuff have helped me relax.
You know there. You know how they have the Sea World there. World there. You know how they have the Sea World? You know, you know how they have the world there. You know how they have the Sea World? You know, with the you know, you know, you know, with the different fish, you know, with the different fish. You know how they have the Sea World? You know, you know, you know, with the different fish, with the different. To the Sea World there. You know how they have the Sea World there.
Okay, I think I'm onto the mouth rigging now. So it pretty much starts right here.
You know how they have the Sea World?
I'm basically just gonna convert anywhere where he's speaking on the mouth layer to keyframes.
You know how they have the Sea World?
Hard to discover new audiences? It's time to try Taboola. Get exposed to a sea of receptive audiences, driving up to 10 times more engagement.
I know I got an ad.
Reach up to 2 billion.
I'm always scared of getting ads on the music I listen to. It means I might get copyright stricken. But it's not that big video of a stream.
There. You know how they have the Sea World? You know have the Sea World? You know, with the different fish. You know, with the
Yes, the mouth ring done, I think.
Sea World there. You know how they have the Sea World? You know, with the different fish.
And I might just do one final thing. When he's sort of like questioning whether we know about the Sea World with all the fish, I might just change his eyes. And change him back here. But I might just raise an eyebrow. And here I might just lower them a bit as well. Make his eyebrows raise? Yeah, it could be, you could either like lower them or raise them here, because with the different fish, I thought he was like being like angry at the audience. Like, well, you don't know about the fish? But you could also be like shocked about that, you know? He also kind of like, he does eyebrow stuff when he like grins to himself and stuff. I don't think you can capture all of Norm's like face in animation, but there's certain I don't know, defaults, I guess.
With the different fish. You know.
Even switch on.
With the different fish. You know, with the different fish. You know.
A bit like Tales from the Tour Bus. I really like Mike Judge. Mike Judge is probably one of my favorite. Well, I say that, but I can't like quote any of his series. I watched them like so long ago. I remember not realizing that Beavis and Butthead had like a movie until I was in like secondary school, and my friend was like, "Have you seen the movie?" And I was like, "What?" No, I've just seen the clips of them talking shit on MTV. I think it's on Netflix. Oh, it's on UK Netflix at least. Do America. Is it more of insecurity? Like he's not sure people are following the story. I mean, in that case, I could even do something like this. Or like, you know. He does that when he like laughs to himself. He does sort of like this eyebrow thing. This sort of opposite of evil eyes, you know. And then with the next scene, I'll probably match the facial expression. Perfect. See how it looks.
Gosh, I went over to the Sea World there. You know how they have the Sea World? You know, with the different fish. You know.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, but I think another thing I like to do is just just blinks. And it's not really I don't think it's even necessary, but they go by like so quick. Like it's not even that detailed. It's kind of a mess. But they're only like I usually have them 3 frames long, and you don't even like notice it.
You know how they have the Sea World? You know.
It'd be good to have one of them like when it's looking around. Right here, maybe. A little harder because it's on a tween. I'm gonna just make another layer real quick. Do it in red. You don't see the blinks, but they definitely add, like, because the style of animation I do is like very deadpan, and there's not a lot of moving a lot of the time, you know. It's usually from very puppety, like one position to the other. So I guess it's anytime where you can like squeeze in a bit of movement, I guess makes it look better. Just call it blank 182. Delete the layer.
And gosh, I went over to the Sea World there. You know how they have the Sea World?
Oh, it's a bit laggy.
You know, with the different fish. You know.
I didn't know that, but okay, yes.
Beluga.
The Sea World, I've been
Sure.
there many a time.
Okay,
Oh,
so
no,
I was
it's not
checking
responding.
out the beluga whales and stuff, and I look over, and
Save it before it crashes.
And gosh, I went over to the Sea World there. You know how they have the Sea World? You know, with the different fish. You know.
Yeah, and that's pretty much that scene done. I have a checklist on my bed. I'm currently halfway through. There's 4,000 frames. What frame are we on now? On exactly 2,366. Making you nervous. I've got them all separated into scenes. And that was an easy one because it was below 500 frames. But I've labeled medium ones as like around 500, maybe a bit more, 700. And hard ones are like usually over 1,000. I've got an easy, a hard, an easy, a medium, a easy, a medium, a hard, an easy, and a medium. With the crashing? Yeah, you know, I think I have autosave on. And I think that's what it does. Because I don't notice it autosaving. It's a really old program, and I think whenever it tries to autosave, I do save it myself anyway, just in case, I'm not fully sure. But I'm pretty sure when it like, says not responding, it's saving it for me. But it is kind of scary when like the audio keeps playing and it's like frozen up. It might not be that because it does do it a lot more when I'm streaming. Like the whole program is a bit slower when I'm streaming. Just because I'm using a laptop from like 2015. But it's I don't want to lose it either. I do back it up. I save as. I have a backup as well. Save as backup. So even if the file gets corrupt, I do have another one. It has happened before when the whole program's like crashed and I've lost like hundreds of frames worth of work. And now I enjoy animating, but when you have to do like the same thing twice, and it's a bit annoying, especially when it's like a really tedious part. This part wasn't that long, which is why I chose to stream it, because I wasn't sure how well the stream was gonna go. But it had a lot of like tedious parts, like the walk cycle and the mouth rig. There just wasn't that much of it. But I think that's pretty much it. That's what I set out to accomplish. It's 2:30. I got the rest of the afternoon. It's 2:30 where I am. Just do whatever I want, pretty much. I might do a bit more later. I might improve the background a bit later because I'm not happy with these blacked out windows in the background. And I don't know, it looks a bit weird. I can make it better. But yeah, thanks for watching. Everyone who's watched. Got 16 likes. Why did it say 16 likes on my computer? It says 4 on my phone. I think 4 is more accurate. It felt like, I think there were like, it says 3 concurrent viewers. But thanks for viewing it anyway, everyone who did. It really means a lot. Recently got to 1,000 subscribers, which means a lot as well. And I've been going for, oh shit, 2 hours, 20 minutes. Which I think is enough for today. I'm going to leave now. Not sure how to end it, other than saying thank you for watching. I'll probably do another stream, I'm not sure when. Just because I felt like this one went pretty well. I really enjoyed talking to people. Gerald in Hino. Sorry if I messed up your name, but thank you very much. That means a lot. Thanks, Jeremy. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in either a stream probably or a video or something. I don't know, but I'll upload this whenever it's done, and you'll get to see it. And thank you for watching. See ya.